Here's an old fork. Majestic Manufacturing Company, St. Louis, Missouri. He came running down to make sure his babies were okay. So no state park for you. Curiosity is always a major factor in any adventure, and this one is no different. Dragon made me aware of 2 other ghost towns nearby, and we're going to find them. Welcome to Watson, Utah. So I thought this was a mining town, but I think I was wrong. I think this town was a supply town. This was the end of the Uinta Railroad, and then the stagecoach came down from Vernal. It picked up supplies from here. They raised and sheared lots of sheep here, it looks like. And then they transferred materials from the American Asphalt Association, Bandana and Little Bonanza mines, shipped their ore directly to Mac, Colorado from here. Sadly, this is the closest the Uinta Railroad ever got to Vernal. And when the railroad went out of business, all 3 of these little towns died. Rainbow, Watson, and Dragon. So lots of cool artifacts right here by the sign. It's like an old bucket. That's a big heavy piece of metal. Oh, here's a brick with some writing on it. Has an EN on it. And there's a lot of little tags up here. I don't know, people, if they had a bunch of stuff marked or what. Oh, here's a chunk of Gilsonite. Looks a lot like coal. Blue glass. That piece is pretty thick. Oh, here's an old fork. That looks homemade. Some little sleeve of some sort. That piece is heavy. Probably off an old potbelly stove. I guess that used to be some steel cable for your cowboy boot. I don't think it's that old, but I guess it could be. So there's still a few structures up here. Let's go check them out. So there was a store here, hotel, but it sounds like they just raised a lot of sheep out here, sheared them. People would ship their materials from Vernal down here to hit the train. I think people were a lot shorter back then. This is a door frame. I would have to duck to get in this house. So I'd probably rack my head every time I walked in and out. Just shows you what 100 years will do to people. We got bigger. Maybe it's because we eat more food. Interesting. Never seen a side tunnel out of a house like that. I wonder, looks like it heads over to another little house. Okay. Well, it didn't go to a house, it just went into here. Okay, let's go over there to that stone house. Nice. Little 10 by 10 shack. Let's keep looking. And I know the sign said these are the old sheep pens where they'd hold and shear the sheep. So it looks like this whole side had little pins, stables. They've all collapsed. Some sheet metal for the roof. Can you imagine living this far out in the middle of nowhere in 1911? I think it's a 2-day stagecoach ride back to Vernal. I'd imagine the train back down to Colorado is probably a good day trip. Old concrete wall here. Probably to keep the river from washing out the road. But it's got shale inside the wall. That's interesting. They were definitely just using what they had. Okay, this is cool. You can see the first wooden house where we were at right here. The stone house should be right about here. And here's that concrete wall I walked on. So now it's time to fly around the drone, get a bird's eye view of this ghost town, and then hopefully we'll go try to find Rainbow. Time to move on. We're going that way. Rainbow is our next destination. Hopefully we can find it. Sweet, I found Rainbow. It says here that it's the queen of the Gilsonite mining towns. But this was the queen, I guess because it had the biggest vein of Gilsonite. It said the vein here at Rainbow was 3 miles long. We're gonna go see if we can look at it and hopefully find some structures. Hopefully find some evidence of some old mining history. And of course, you always got the stuff by the signs. I think that's somebody's newer mud flap. Well, there's a lizard underneath this. Where he went? That's cool. That's pretty heavy. Lots of old paint buckets up here. I don't even know that's a paint bucket. I don't know what that is. That's an interesting can. A spout out the side of it. Okay, I see some stuff over there. Let's go that way. Old stove. Majestic Manufacturing Company, St. Louis, Missouri. That sort of looks like the front of an old car. That's a little tiny thing. I wonder what that was for. It's pretty small. Oh, that was dug out. That could have been somebody's little house. Definitely a bunch of wood around it. In 1920, they struck oil in Rainbow. This is where the oil well used to be. You can still see some of the old pipes and the old footings. I found it. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro. Right there is the Gilsonite vein. Definitely be flying the drone over that. There's a concrete slab right here. Oh, with chains. With chains in it. I kind of wonder if there's a big open pit right here. Them chains and them slabs are like picking hooks, picking chains, so they can lift it with a crane. Another piece of concrete hiding under the dirt there. Yeah, all this black stuff you see on the ground, that's the Gilsonite that they missed. It looks a little bit like coal. In 1911, after mining all of the valuable Gilsonite out of the Black Dragon mine, they focused their attention to Rainbow. This 10-foot wide, 3-mile long trench was the next big find. This looks like a very dangerous place to work, so the miners had to be tough. And there was absolutely no alcohol in this town. Found me an old jug. About 30 families lived here in its heyday, in homes built by the mining company. By 1928, more than 300,000 tons of ore had been extracted since the opening of this mine. Gilsonite is rare. This is the only place in the world you can find it. Here's a little twist on the story. In 1926, the federal government stepped in and stopped all plans for oil shale reduction south of the White River. By executive order from President Coolidge, Watson, Dragon, Rainbow, and the Uinta Railroad all died. By 1938, they were all gone. Most of Rainbow's houses were sold off and moved to Bonanza. There are a few other mines up here if you're in for an extra adventure. The Norvell, Thimble Rock and the China Wall mines are all nearby. But I don't have the time for that today. Maybe next time. Remember how I said there's some weird stuff in the basin? Here's one of them. Right here by the turnoff for Dragon is this old sign. It doesn't say anything, but it looks like an old state park sign, national monument. I wonder what they were gonna do out here. We're gonna go down this abandoned road for a while. Sort of has that Canyonland feeling. So, you know, when there's weeds growing out of the highway, they don't use it very much. Check this out. Out here is also where I've seen the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life, the biggest buck. It was huge. I stopped the truck, got out and ran over like 2 hills just so I could see it again. It was giant. Weird way to end a highway, don't you think? It's a shale oil research company. That's more important than a national park or anything like that. Let's sell it to big oil. Yeah, so it looks like this area has been taken over by big oil. That's a shale research company trying to extract oil from the shale, just like that little quarry we seen over by Dragon. If you have any questions, refer to this sign. So no state park for you. It's oil companies now. So let's take a look and maybe try to see where this road goes. I don't see anything for miles. What do you think is out there? Nice, I just found some wild horses. Let's see how close they'll let me get. I guess I should say wild Mustangs. I think that's the male. He came running down to make sure his babies were okay. I guess it could be mommy, because there's 2 babies. I don't know, they both look pregnant. Guess maybe this is their stallion. Came to rescue him. You coming to see me? You trying to chase me off? What's up, little guy? Just wait until you see this Gilsonite vein. It's massive. This is the king of the Gilsonite mines. Bonanza. Not just one, there are at least 3 giant veins of Gilsonite right here. Bonanza is kind of a weird place also. One website says the population is around 400. The 2010 census report says 0. And one site says 1 man lives here and labeled Bonanza as the tiniest town in Utah. So I don't know. More mysteries for the basin, I guess. Alright, I'm in Bonanza now. It said a lot of the houses from Rainbow got moved down to Bonanza. The old stagecoach house that used to be by the bridge is supposed to be down here too. Well, if these are some of the houses from Rainbow, they're still using them. Okay, my time in the basin has come to an end, at least for this trip. I know I'll be back here later, but for now, at least we checked off some ghost towns. We didn't get to see any ghosts or skinwalkers or UFOs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. You coming to see me? You trying to chase me off? What's up, little guy?